Five. Hey, we're rolling back again with GenXican,
GenXican, the podcast.
the podcast.
And we are live, but not live. No, what we mean is we're on video.
We're live
You
on
can see
tape.
our faces.
We're live on
We're
tape.
live on tape.
GenXican, the podcast. Brought to you by real life GenXicans.
Real life GenXicans. Oh, and because I'm Gen X, I still haven't figured out how to retype my name on the Zoom. So I have my proper pronouns. So let me do that now for y'all.
Okay.
There.
Well, while you're doing that, or you've done it, congratulations. See, you've done something. We've done something for today.
On a Sunday.
On a Sunday, nonetheless. Speaking of which, stuff and doing, you were meant to be traveling today, and you didn't travel because of potential sickness.
Yes, potential pinche COVID. So but pinche potential pandemic, but it's still happening. Yeah, I was gonna be on a plane to Veracruz. I'd be landing in about an hour or so. Yeah, I was gonna go to Veracruz, but my friend who I was gonna meet up with there got COVID within a few days, and I do not have a good track record of not getting sick. I mean, basically, I get sick every time I go to Mexico. Not the COVID, but like, I'll eat something or drink something, and like the last time I had to like walk 2 miles to the hospital because it was Christmas and there was like no taxi service, and my uncle was like drunk.
This is a very like Charles Dickens, like, excuse me, sir, could you take me to the hospital, sir? It's Christmas, isn't it?
Right?
Váyate.
I'm all like in the middle of Plaza San Marcos, and like Daniel, my partner's propping me up, and I'm like, okay, I gotta sit down. And I made it to El Hospital Guadalupe, and they gave me a shot, and then I was fine. Well, 24 hours later, but
a shot of tequila.
Shot of tequila. That's probably what they put in there.
Ben.
It's no antibioticos. They put tequila in that. So yeah. It just every time. I mean, without fail, I just get super sick. Which it's basically because my immune system is probably not great. And I do have asthma, and I have a 5-year-old, and I have a job that I cannot be like, oh, I'm supposed to fly back today, but now I have COVID, so I'm going to stay an extra week, whatever. Like, and I wasn't taking my computer. So basically I did think ahead, and I did purchase the fully refundable plane ticket. And so I got fully refunded, which made the decision so much easier. And yeah, I know some of y'all are like, nah, like you're making a big deal of it. You should have gone. And I'm like, nah, I decided to stay.
Yeah,
that's my decision.
Your whole decision-making process on it sounds very adult. First of all, kudos to you for buying a refundable ticket. That there is foresight. That there is foresight and adulthood right there. If the child and day job and marriage weren't indicators enough, you're buying refundable tickets now. You're a grown up. You're a grown ass woman. Yeah, no, that's a big deal. But you got to take that stuff into consideration, right? Because otherwise you might have been there having a horrible time. The worst thing that could have happened is you would have gone. You've been stuck in a hotel room.
Right. Yeah, hotel room, and then I would have just paid $1,300 just to sit in a hotel room. Yeah, and this would have been my first trip, like not being with familia, because when I am, at least, they can bring me caldo and all that suero and stuff when you're sick. But I mean, I would have been in the small remote town, so small that
how small is it?
This small. They did not even take credit card for the reservation. We had to PayPal money to somebody in Playa Vicente so he could like get cash from his bank.
From
and
his
then
tío. His tío. Yeah, no, you have to Venmo my tío. And then my tío's in Saltillo. Is my tío. And then he's
from
gonna
Saltillo, the girl from Ipanema.
yeah. And then he's gonna send me a letter. And then when the letter comes, he's gonna have the cash in it. And then you can come.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, and the the lady who was doing the reservations, she was like so annoyed because I kept adding nights, and I'm like, do I need to, tengo que mandar más efectivo, más dinero para mi reservación? And she's like, we added 2 nights, and she's like, okay, no, it's fine. I mean, in español. And then the next, I wanted to tack on 1 more night. She's like, no, okay, ya esto es un relajo. I'm like, disculpas. I'm like,
they're like, yeah, you're the only guest we have, and we're trying to go on vacation. So
yeah,
like,
no, I'm gonna call. Ya no vamos a ir.
Oh, you haven't called them yet?
No, they're gonna keep my deposit because what are they gonna do?
Yeah,
they have to give cash back to the guy.
Lupe made her tres leches cake for you, just for you.
Right.
What? Okay, she made dos leches cake. We were out of one of the leches. We were running low on one of the leches. So you just
and then I would have been like, I am lactose intolerant. Can you make it with oat milk?
How am I gonna
pinche relajo?
How am I gonna milk an oatmeal? What do you want with like a Quaker oat man? Like with a little bag of Quaker oats, like milking it? That's dirty.
Very dirty. My parents would have been like, you cannot do this.
You can't do this.
Dirty.
You can't do this. You can't do it. Yeah, I was in me and my family were in Texas for the 4th of July weekend. And towards the end, I started getting a tickle in the throat, and I started getting really paranoid about it. And then Austin is terrible though for allergies. It's like a wad of pollen and grass and mold and like dander and everything. And you can like pull up the allergy forecast, and it's just like, it's just like skulls and crossbones. It's just like, forget about it. Yeah, it's just one big muckle. Like my brother is just like, he's got like allergy medication in a Pez head. He's just like, yeah, bro, yeah. You want one? Grape flavored Claritin.
Is he taking his kids Claritin? Because that's what I do.
No. Hey, say, mijo, you got any more of them Claritins? No. It turns out it wasn't allergies. I thought it was, because I started feeling better once I was on the plane on the ride home, but as it kind of wore on, and I stayed kind of sick here, then I realized that and now my wife is currently kind of going through respiratory stuff, and my dad got it too. But yeah, I tested a couple of times for COVID, and thankfully it wasn't that, because that was of course as you're mentioning, still the big knee-jerk concern that we still have, right? Because it's just like, my folks are in their 80s, so it's just like, oh man, and they're vaccinated and everything, but still it's just like, oh, but I didn't get them sick, and I don't want to get my wife sick, and I don't want to get my kid sick because she's got like stuff going on, like seeing her friends and everything, and it's summer, she's bored enough with it, and annoyed with us enough as it is. So it's just like, I didn't want this whole like house of cards to come down on me just because I don't know. I mean, who knows? It's just funny. It's like we forget that colds still exist. It's just like, it's the COVID. It's like, no, it's a cold. He has the COVID.
Right. I mean, and it's like the cold, except it's like as if like the cold was like everywhere you went all the time. I mean, usually like you don't like, oh my God, I'm going to go to the grocery store. Every time you go to the grocery store, you're not like, I'm going to get a cold, maybe. Right. I mean, that's usually a seasonal thing, but this has been like 2 years of you might catch a cold.
Right.
A really bad cold.
Yeah. uh, you had asked me via text because we were back and forthing, right? You're like, oh, did you get to like stay home and get homemade soup? So like your mom would make homemade caldo for you, like when you were sick and everything.
I mean, she might have used Nor,
Oh,
like,
okay.
or the
Uh,
Maggie, maybe.
uh, uh,
I mean, but you know, it was still homemade, and I
right,
got to be at home, like versus a
right,
hotel room. So there's
right,
like, so there's some advantages of, you know, being home when you get
right,
sick or being
right,
in your parents' home.
right, right. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I got to watch all the television and drink all the Seven Up. I don't know why Seven Up was like the thing that was like the indication that I don't know, you're sick. Here's your here's your bottle of Seven Up, mijo. Drink this. This will make you feel better. Stomach ache, Seven Up. Fever, Seven Up. I guess because it didn't have caffeine in it, and it had the word up. I don't know.
right? It's because Mexicanos weren't like, oh, we have ginger ale. Aquí está tu
Right.
ginger ale.
Yeah. No.
It was our Mexican ginger ale.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Vicks Vapor Rub and Seven Up will get you pretty much cures everything and anything.
Mm-hmm.
Cold, fever, broken arm, uh, nuclear devastation. Seven Up. Seven Up. Yeah,
Right.
for sure. For sure.
I'm gonna build a dome and like lather it with
Vicks
VapoRub.
Vapor.
So if there's ever like a nuclear bomb, then I could just hide out in there.
This is Vicks Vapor Rub and Palo Santo. Seven Up on tap, right? And just like, and then
Caldo out of the other
yeah,
one.
and
Caldos.
just caldo on the other one, and then just like chanclas everywhere for self defense, right? Self defense, not with the cords still on them from the new hanging on the rack, so they're none chanclas, right? None chanclas, right? Yes, the true weapon of defense. So. So I'm glad. So you're not sick. So I'm glad you didn't get sick,
Yes.
which is good, because getting sick sucks, even when it's not like the big sickness that. Yeah, and because it's still going on too. Like I think here in California, we're talking about the mask mandate coming back, and I know at my day job, there's considerations for big meetings and everything, and people are still concerned. So, you know, we're still living with it. We're still doing the thing that we all have to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And we still haven't figured out how to really live with it. I mean, some of the comments that I got from some friends was like, oh, you know, we need to remove the stigma from COVID. Everyone's gonna get it. And it's like, look, I've accepted that I probably will. Somehow I've managed to avoid it. I saw that
Oh
little
wow.
meme of like the little Super Mario brother going through like level 11, avoiding all the things. And that's like how I feel. Somehow I'm like, I don't know. I just avoided it. I don't know. Or maybe I've had it and I didn't know because our daughter had it at the
Yeah.
beginning of last year. And so, and maybe the tests weren't, I don't know. We just somehow haven't gotten it, but I'm okay with that. I'm not scared of getting COVID. I'm just more scared of all the inconvenience around it.
Right.
I mean, I guess that's a good position to be in, I guess. I don't know. I mean, because I feel like, yes, I do have not the best immune system, and I just got over a lower respiratory virus. And so I just feel like it could probably potentially hit me worse. I don't know. But it's just, yeah, just having to deal with it, all the other extra layers. Yeah, the child, like, oh crap now. Oh.
What's boinging? What's boinging?
What's boinging? That's our anti-ADHD. It's our anti-ADHD measure.
It's our
Rambling.
anti-ADHD contingency plan, keeping us from going down too far the rabbit hole as we're working towards staying out of the rabbit hole, keeping a condensed format, so that we don't go on to the end of time, because we will. Trust me, because I had this whole thing about euphoniums that I was going to talk about. You know, not the baritone, but the euphonium. But I guess that's going to have to wait till next time.
I mean, what does euphoniums have to do with being sick, though?
I don't think we have enough time today.
That's true. That's true.
It's this whole low brass thing, man. This whole low brass thing. Like, you know, if you ever spent time in a band hall, you know, if you played low brass, you know what I'm talking about. The low brass players are like amongst the band nerds. They're like a specific flavor, and I sat next to them. I knew some dudes in low brass, and yeah, very, very stranger things going on there. So yeah, no, we'll talk about that next time, or probably not. Yeah.
I guess you'll just all...
Yeah, I'm David Saldaña at Saldanation. Follow us at the GenXican podcast here on Instagram. Alexandra, tell us about you.
At Undercover Mexi. So you can follow me, or you can, better yet, follow at GenXican podcast.
That's it. That's it. All right, everybody. Well,
stay well.
Stay well. I'm gonna push the button here, and bye.